Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of US state quarter dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we are turning the spotlight on the very first state quarter that kicked off one of the most popular coin programs in the history of the United States Mint, the Delaware State Quarter from 1999. This coin may look ordinary to the untrained eye, but what if I told you that in certain rare cases this little piece of metal could be worth a life-changing amount of money? Stay with me until the very end, because the value I will reveal is going to absolutely surprise you. Let us start with the story. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the State Quarters program, a 10-year series that honored each of the 50 states. Delaware had the honor of being the very first, and that alone already makes it historically important. Millions were minted and circulated, and for most people it was just a quarter to spend on gum or coffee. But collectors knew right away that being the first in the series would give the Delaware quarter a special place in coin history. Now let us talk about the design, because design plays a huge role in why people love these coins. On the obverse, you see the familiar portrait of George Washington, but on the reverse is where the Delaware quarter shines. The coin shows Caesar Rodney on horseback, making his famous 70-mile ride in 1776 to cast a decisive vote for independence. The engraving captures both motion and history, turning this quarter into a tiny monument of American freedom. Every collector admires the boldness of this image, and it is one reason why the Delaware issue stands out even among the 50-state series. But what makes this coin rare and valuable is not just its historical importance. It comes down to condition, rarity, and those fascinating little surprises called minting errors. While most Delaware quarters are common pocket change, a small fraction left the mint with unique flaws that transformed them from simple coins into collector treasures. One of the most famous error types is the so-called spitting horse variety. This happens when a die crack appears in front of Caesar Rodney's mouth, creating the illusion that the horse is spitting. To casual observers, it looks like a defect, but to collectors, it is a badge of uniqueness. These varieties are cherished because they are limited in number, and no two cracks look exactly the same. Then there are double die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled, giving the letters or images a ghostly second outline. These coins are rare, dramatic to the eye, and always in high demand. Off-center strikes, missing elements, or unusual planchet issues can also appear, each pushing the value higher. What seems like a mistake to most people is pure gold to a numismatist. Condition plays a critical role as well. A Delaware quarter that circulated in pockets for years might only be worth 25 cents. But a pristine coin kept uncirculated since the day it was minted can climb in value. Collectors crave coins that look as if they just left the mint yesterday, with shining luster and razor-sharp details. When rarity and high-grade condition meet, that is when prices soar into unbelievable territory. And now we come to the moment you have been waiting for. Some of the rarest Delaware quarters with unique errors and preserved in exceptional condition have shocked collectors at auctions and private sales. While most people see just another piece of spare change, the truth is that a perfect Delaware state quarter with the right combination of rarity and error can reach the incredible value of $87,000. Yes, you heard that right. A small quarter that you could have once spent on a soda might actually be a fortune in disguise. So the next time you come across a Delaware quarter in your change, do not just toss it aside. Take a careful look at it, check for errors, examine its condition, and you might be holding something extraordinary. Friends, this is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Hidden treasures lie in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by those with sharp eyes and curiosity. Top 2, we are diving into a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors across the country, the Wisconsin State Quarter from 2004. At first glance, it looks like just another quarter from the popular 50-state series. But hidden among these coins are versions so rare and unique that they have been valued at jaw-dropping amounts. Stay with me until the very end, because the number I will reveal will absolutely amaze you. Let's begin with the story behind the coin. The Wisconsin quarter was released in 2004 as part of the State Quarters program, which had begun a few years earlier in 1999. Each state was given the opportunity to design a coin that reflected its history, culture, and heritage. Wisconsin, known as America's Dairyland, naturally chose an agricultural theme for its quarter. On the reverse side of the coin, we see a proud cow, a large wheel of cheese, and an ear of corn, symbolizing the state's rich farming tradition. The design is simple yet bold, celebrating Wisconsin's identity as a major contributor to the nation's food production. The obverse side of the coin carries the familiar image of George Washington, as do all quarters from the series. But the real magic lies on the reverse, because that is where one of the most famous minting errors in modern American coinage was born. When the Wisconsin quarter was minted, most of them showed the ear of corn with a single smooth husk leaf. However, some coins appeared with an extra leaf, one curling up and others with an extra leaf curling down. These varieties became legendary almost overnight. Collectors call them the extra leaf high and the extra leaf low, and they transformed the Wisconsin quarter from a common pocket change coin into a coveted rarity. The reason these extra leaves exist has been the subject of debate. Some experts believe it was a deliberate addition by a mint worker, while others think it was simply a result of die gouges or accidental modifications during production. Whatever the cause, the fact remains that these extra leaf varieties are extremely scarce compared to the millions of regular Wisconsin quarters in circulation. And here is why collectors are obsessed with them. While the standard Wisconsin quarter may only be worth its face value of 25 cents, the extra leaf varieties, especially when found in uncirculated or mint condition, can sell for astonishing amounts. These coins are unusual, visually distinct, and tied to one of the most successful coin programs in American history. That combination of rarity, mystery, and popularity drives their market value through the roof. Beyond the extra leaf varieties, condition still plays a critical role. Coins that have been carefully preserved, showing brilliant luster and sharp details, are the ones that command the highest prices. Grading services often evaluate these coins, and those certified at top grades can bring unbelievable results at auctions. For collectors, it is not just about owning the coin. It is about owning the best example available. So the question is, how much can one of these rare Wisconsin state quarters really be worth? The answer will leave you stunned. A genuine extra leaf error quarter in pristine condition has reached the extraordinary value of $84,000. Yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter, something you might find rattling around in your change, could actually be worth $84,000 if it happens to be one of these scarce varieties and is preserved in near-perfect condition. This is the magic of coin collecting. What looks ordinary to most people might turn out to be an incredible treasure hiding in plain sight. So my friends, the next time you come across a Wisconsin quarter, do not dismiss it as just another piece of change. Look closely at the corn, check for that mysterious extra leaf, and examine its condition carefully. Who knows? You might be holding one of the rarest state quarters ever produced, a coin that could change your life. Top 3, we will explore a quarter that carries both history and mystery, the Massachusetts state quarter from the year 2000. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary coin, just another piece from the 50-state series that millions of Americans carried in their pockets. But hidden among these coins are examples that are so rare and extraordinary that they have sold for amounts you would hardly believe. Stay with me until the very end, because the value reveal will truly leave you speechless. The Massachusetts quarter was one of the very first releases in the state quarters program. It came out in January of the year 2000, the 6th coin in the series, and it immediately gained attention for its bold and patriotic design. On the obverse side, as always, we see George Washington, but on the reverse we find a powerful image that celebrates both history and identity. The coin features a detailed outline of the state of Massachusetts, and standing proudly at its center is the famous Minuteman, the symbol of citizen soldiers who played a decisive role in the American Revolution. With his musket in hand, the Minuteman represents courage, independence, and the spirit of freedom that shaped the United States. Collectors admire this design because it perfectly captures the story of Massachusetts as the birthplace of American liberty. The combination of the state's map and the revolutionary figure makes the coin not just money, but a miniature piece of art filled with meaning. But as every coin enthusiast knows, beauty alone does not make a coin valuable. The real secret lies in rarity, condition, and those fascinating errors that transform an ordinary quarter into a treasure. Most Massachusetts quarters are still only worth 25 cents. Millions were minted and spent across the country, and the vast majority show the usual wear and tear of circulation. However, a small fraction left the mint with mistakes that collectors cherish. Some of the most desirable are double die errors, where letters or images appear doubled, giving the coin an unusual and ghostly appearance. These doubled details can be seen in the inscriptions or along the edges of the state outline, and they immediately catch the eye of collectors. Another type of rarity is the off-center strike. When a coin is not struck exactly in the middle, parts of the design are missing or shifted, creating a dramatic and highly collectible piece. Massachusetts quarters with significant off-center errors are scarce and can command astonishing premiums. Then there are rare planchet errors, where the coin was struck on the wrong metal blank or shows missing elements. Each of these mistakes tells a story of the minting process and adds to the uniqueness of the coin. Condition also plays a huge role in determining value. A coin that circulated heavily is common and worth little, but one that has been preserved in brilliant, uncirculated, or mint state condition is a different story. Collectors pay top prices for coins that still shine as if they were just struck yesterday, with no scratches or signs of wear. And when you combine perfect condition with a dramatic mint error, you have the recipe for a true numismatic treasure. So, just how much can a Massachusetts state quarter from the year 2000 really be worth? The answer is remarkable. While ordinary examples are worth only their face value, the rarest pieces, those with special minting errors, extraordinary condition, and collector demand, have been valued as high as $81,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single quarter that once jingled in someone's pocket or sat unnoticed in a coin jar could now be worth $81,000. This is why coin collecting is so exciting. It proves that history and fortune can hide in the smallest and most ordinary places, waiting for sharp eyes and curious minds to discover them. So, my friends, the next time you come across a Massachusetts state quarter, do not ignore it. Look carefully at its details. Check for doubling, misstrikes, or unusual features. And if you find one in pristine condition, you might be holding something truly extraordinary. We are going to explore one of the more modern treasures from the United States Mint, a coin that is part of the celebrated America the Beautiful series. It is the Shawnee National Forest quarter, released in 2016. At first glance, it might look like just another recent quarter that you could easily find in your change. But as every collector knows, the most surprising treasures are often hiding in plain sight. This quarter, when found with the right features and in the right condition, has been valued at an amount that will absolutely leave you speechless. Let us begin with the background. In 2010, the United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful program, a series of quarters celebrating national parks and historic sites from across the country. The Shawnee Quarter, issued in 2016, was the 31st design in this series. It honors the breathtaking Shawnee National Forest located in southern Illinois, a place of natural beauty, rolling landscapes, and towering rock formations. The design of the coin is a work of art in itself. On the obverse, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, the same face that has appeared on quarters for decades. But the reverse side is where the Shawnee coin stands out. It depicts the striking image of Camel Rock, a unique sandstone formation that has become a symbol of the forest. Perched near the rock is a red-tailed hawk in flight, wings spread wide, representing freedom, strength, and the majesty of nature. This design connects not only to Illinois, but to the wider story of America's natural treasures. Now, you may wonder, what makes a modern coin like this valuable? After all, millions of Shawnee quarters were minted for circulation. The answer lies in two powerful factors: condition and errors. Collectors are always searching for coins that have survived in flawless mint state condition, showing brilliant luster, no scratches, and sharp details. Even with modern coins, high-grade examples are much rarer than people realize, because most go straight into circulation and pick up marks and wear almost immediately. But the real excitement comes from minting errors, and the Shawnee Quarter has produced some fascinating varieties that collectors crave. One of the most famous errors is the doubled die, where parts of the design or lettering appear doubled. When this occurs on a modern quarter, it instantly draws attention because such mistakes are rare in today's high-tech minting process. Another desirable variety is the off-center strike, where the design is not perfectly aligned and part of the coin appears blank or shifted. These dramatic errors are highly collectible because they are unusual and visually striking. There are also instances of die cracks, extra lines, or unusual metal flaws that can appear during minting. Each of these makes the coin unique, and uniqueness is what drives collectors into bidding wars. A shiny quarter with such an error, preserved in pristine condition, transforms from pocket change into a prized piece of modern numismatic history. What makes this story so thrilling is that the shiny quarter is recent enough that many people still overlook it. They see it as just another coin from their wallet. But for those who pay attention, there is the possibility of discovering something truly valuable. And because the America the Beautiful series is still fresh in the minds of collectors, demand for special varieties is especially strong. So, how much can a rare shiny quarter actually be worth? The answer might shock you. While an ordinary example is only 25 cents, the rarest varieties with striking errors and preserved in flawless mint state condition have been valued as high as $78,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A coin minted in 2016, still so modern that many of us remember spending it without a thought, could be worth $78,000 if it carries the right error and condition. This is the magic of coin collecting. It transforms ordinary objects into treasures of history, art, and incredible value. So, my friends, the next time you find a shiny quarter in your change, do not ignore it. Look carefully at the design. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual marks. And if it shines like new, you might just be holding a modern fortune in your hand. Top 5. We are going to take a closer look at one of the later releases in the State Quarter series, a coin that represents the state of Utah. Issued in 2007, this quarter is far more than just pocket change. It tells a story of history, progress, and heritage, and in some rare cases it has been valued at a price so extraordinary that it could change the way you look at the coins in your wallet forever. Stay with me until the end because the number I will reveal will truly amaze you. Let us begin with the history. The State Quarter program, which began in 1999, was one of the most successful coin series ever produced by the United States Mint. It honored each of the 50 states with a unique design, released over the span of 10 years. By the time the Utah Quarter was introduced in 2007, collectors across the country were already deeply invested in completing their sets, and every new release attracted excitement. Utah's coin stood out immediately because of its striking design and the way it captured the story of connection and growth. That on the reverse of the coin, we see two locomotives facing each other, their cowcatchers nearly touching, with a golden spike positioned between them. This design commemorates the historic completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 at Promontory Summit, Utah, when the eastern and western lines of the railroad were joined together. It was a moment that symbolized unity, innovation, and the bridging of a vast continent. The inscription beneath reads, "Crossroads of the West," highlighting Utah's role in America's expansion and progress. The obverse side, of course, carries the familiar portrait of George Washington, but the reverse design makes the Utah Quarter one of the most distinctive in the entire state series. Collectors love this coin not only for its historical significance, but also for the elegance and clarity of the imagery. Now, here is where things get truly exciting. While millions of Utah quarters were minted and entered circulation, a small number are worth far more than face value. The secret lies in rarity, condition, and minting errors. For a coin collector, those three factors determine whether a coin is ordinary or extraordinary. Errors are the most thrilling aspect of the Utah Quarter. One of the most famous varieties involves double die errors, where parts of the lettering or design appear doubled. On the Utah Quarter, this can sometimes be seen in the inscriptions or details of the trains, creating a striking and unusual look. Another type of error is the off-center strike, where the design is not properly aligned with the coin's edges. The result is a quarter that looks lopsided, a mistake that makes it far rarer and much more desirable. There are also die cracks, cuds, and other striking anomalies that can appear on the Utah Quarter. Each one of these errors transforms the coin into a one-of-a-kind piece. Collectors compete fiercely for such coins because they are not only rare, but also tell a story of how even in the modern minting process, mistakes can still slip through and create treasures. Condition also plays a huge role. A Utah quarter that has been in circulation for years, scratched and worn, may be worth little more than face value. But an example that was never spent, preserved in brilliant, uncirculated or mint state condition, is a different story altogether. Coins that shine as if they just left the mint, with sharp details and no blemishes, are the ones that fetch premium prices at auctions and among serious collectors. So, just how much can one of these rare Utah state quarters be worth? While most examples are common and ordinary, the rarest pieces, those with dramatic errors and preserved in flawless condition, have been valued at as much as $75,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single quarter that many people might overlook as spare change could actually be worth $75,000 under the right circumstances. This is the thrill of coin collecting, my friends. It reminds us that treasures can be hiding in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and curiosity to uncover them. So the next time you come across a Utah quarter, take a moment to study it carefully. Look at the trains, examine the lettering, check for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual marks. If the coin is in pristine condition, you might just be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the Utah quarter and its hidden potential. If you enjoyed this journey and want to discover more stories of coins worth incredible amounts, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the next discovery. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, the next fortune could already be in your hands.